Hey, how's it going? This is Dead End Road Show. It's Bill and Ian.
Hello.
Back at it again. We got a whole ton of stuff once again, probably too much, so we are just going to get rolling.
So, before we start though.
Oh yeah.
The show notes here. I mean, I didn't necessarily mean to talk about this on the show itself, but I was looking at it. So you're restructuring the notes consists of just like putting one thing above the rest. Is that?
Yeah. Yes. So like in my head, I was like coming up with different segments and shit.
Oh, right.
And so then that's where that would go.
So that would be like the segment section.
Right. So each segment would get its own thing, and if we came up with different names for segments, they would go in different. They would get their own thing rather than just everything being put in the what we're thinking about section.
Right.
That was my thinking, but then this just happened. I just came up with that idea the 1 week where we only have one segment and then the rest is all just sort of like the regular media criticism shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just a poor week for me to do an experiment where it didn't matter.
Yeah, I also didn't need to call you out on that, but
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's funny because like this show started out as like sort of like an office hours ish, like, oh yeah, this is just gonna be like how we're gonna talk about what we're working on, you know, just like quick updates. Like it's only gonna be like a half-hour long show, or something like that, and we'll just be like, here's where the status of like videos and shit and like streams are, and you know, and we'll just inform people. That was like the original premise of this incarnation of the show. So so it's like a throwback to that kind of. That's why we have a business segment.
Yes.
That used to be much bigger, and now it's literally hit the social links, you dingus.
Yeah, it hasn't changed, I don't think, since I've started on here.
No, because I'm copying and pasting it.
Yeah.
So full show. I'm bringing back what might be a crowd favorite. I don't know. Nobody said anything.
I mean, I like
Dating
it.
is Dead. Okay, cool. An audience of one loves the segment. I went back into the archives, and actually I found some new ones. So some of these are fresh. I went back into the bowels of OkCupid, and some stuff that I thought I had buried, and I remembered some things.
I was gonna ask, OkCupid, I don't hear a lot about that anymore. Do you know like what the user population is compared to some of the bigger ones?
I think it's pretty sizable.
Is it?
I would have to say I bet it's higher than like Bumble at this point, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm probably the worst person to ask.
Yeah.
I'm a goddamn hermit. I'm a monk, you know.
You just scour these sites for content.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because I don't really hear people like talk about Bumble anymore, like all that much.
Is that the one where women have to like initiate?
Yeah.
Now, so is that just like for hetero? Like, what is?
I suppose I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I guess that shows where my biases are. But yeah, I never. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Because I was on that. I tried it because I was like, oh, that's an interesting twist. But I found it worse than Tinder.
Really?
Where people would put even less information, so it was mostly just photos.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't have anything to go off of, so this is nothing for me.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, and I'm not even talking about like the content aspect. Like, this was before I started looking for like weird shit.
Right.
This was just like I don't. How am I supposed to know anything about you from photos? Like, I don't even know if you watch The Office, which is what most people put in their fucking bio.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I found it worse than Tinder. And then there's like Hinge is like the newer one.
Yeah, the only thing I know about that is that like once you like successfully match up with somebody, I guess you like delete your account.
Is that how like the end game on that one?
I don't know. I think that it's I heard it's
I thought
meant.
that was just like their tagline.
I don't know. Maybe you don't delete your account, but like you like are erased from the.
Oh, like you're not seen.
Like yeah, maybe you're just like hidden until you decide to come back. I don't really know how it works, but
Oh, because OkCupid does that. Like if I'm not on for like a few months, they'll send me emails like, "Hey, you're about to be hidden." It's like I don't give a shit. I think that's the same on Tinder actually. I think I'm probably hidden on that because I haven't used it. Which makes sense. It's like you don't want to be swiping through people that are not actively using it if you're actually looking for people.
right, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the end game of Hinge is. That's got to be the wrong word. I don't know. I'm bad at this shit. I'm bad. So let's jump in. Which one was this? Because I just have screenshots again. Let's see. Okay, all right. I love reading, coffee dates, conversation, healthy food, cooking, conspiracy theory podcasts, and nature. I'm a certified aromatherapist, run my own online biz, and I'm going back to school this fall. I'm not a man-hating feminist like many millennials, crying laughing face emoji. In fact, I believe many women are just trying to act like men, and this doesn't make them any happier in the end. In touch with my femininity, looking for the masculine to complement it. Now, you can see why I was originally drawn.
Yeah, I mean, there was one last week that started out pretty well and then just took a left turn out of nowhere, and this is the same situation.
Yeah, so they like reading, conversation, healthy food, cooking, and conspiracy theory podcasts. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Perhaps they might have even stumbled across mine. I'm in. And then I read along, and then it's, I'm not a man-hating feminist like many millennials. It's like, okay, all right. In fact, feminists aren't even happy. Like, what the fuck?
Man.
Holy shit. It's like trying to, like appeal to, like, a certain, typical, like, man,
like, misogynist, essentially.
Yeah, right. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, this will get me dudes,
Yeah.
Like, this is how dudes think, so this will be what they want to hear. It's like, okay, all right. I'm not like those other girls. Oh, yeah. Which one was this? Okay, this one confused me very much. Well, hi, I'm blank. I won't say their name, even though it's only their first name. I'm not going to say their name. I'm a high school graduate. I have two older brothers. One is 25 and the other is 27. I'm the youngest in the family. I'm 23. I'm shorter than my two brothers. I'm 5'7". I'm half Italian and half Spanish. I live with my dad and two older brothers in Newark. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. But, well, that's a big city. My mom died in 2015 and it still hurts.
I feel like we almost know more about her two older brothers than we do about about her.
Yes.
It's pretty incredible just to like go through the things that this person thought was important and like in the order of which they were important.
The bio is literally called My Self Summary, and it's like what a 5-year-old would like. It's like describe your family.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, hey, are your brothers single? Like, what is... Like, what is...
So did she gave her height. Did she also give her brother's heights as well?
No, just that they're taller. I'm shorter than
okay.
my two brothers. I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
So they're taller than 5'7".
Mm-hmm. See, I would have liked to have known their height. I feel like that's pretty crucial here.
Right. So they could be 7'2". They could be enormous.
Yeah.
Or they could be 5'8".
I mean, this really does feel like one of her brothers was like pulling a prank and just like made the bio for her.
That would be really cruel, but it wouldn't make sense. Like what is the it's not like I have two like
really amazing
awesome older brothers.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. And then the kicker at the end, my mom died in 2015 and it still hurts. Like, sorry?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do about that? Like, this isn't a, one of those online therapy, services.
Like, I feel like it would take a special circumstance to drop that info on a first date, no less a pre-first, like not even, this is just like introduction.
Right. I can't imagine a situation where I guess if somebody asked, like, what's your relationship with your family?
Yeah.
But like, even then, I don't know.
Even then,
so
I would
bizarre.
probably just lead with the fact that I have two brothers. That's my relationship with my family.
Right. And like, I live with my dad.
Yeah.
At that. Like, it very much confuses me.
But so now we're left with the fact that this person's mom died, and that's really the most significant information we know.
Right.
Like, that's really the main thing we know. I mean, height, family relationships, like...
And half Italian, half Spanish.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
But that also applies to, I assume, the brothers as well.
Yes.
So nothing distinguishes this person from the brothers other than the height and the age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we know that they graduated high school. That was the first thing.
And that her mom was having kids every 2 years.
Right. And then so it's like, okay, the fact that you included this, it's like, all right. So do you have mommy issues? Like, what do you want anyone to do with that?
Yeah, you've like made it a point. Like, that's like a defining characteristic for you now.
Yeah, are you looking for a mommy surrogate? Like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Yeah, very confusing. Still, I'd like some answers, but I was too afraid to, because like how am I supposed to approach that?
I'm sorry your mom died.
Yeah, like what do you want somebody to do? Are you looking for sympathy? Like, are you looking for somebody else that has experienced, like, you want like some kind of co-grief relationship? Is that something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this one isn't necessarily interesting or anything. I just thought that this was like a link that I should send to you for somebody.
Okay.
So, your typical plus-size Jersey girl, slowly making my way through academia towards a doctorate. Just want to travel and go to hockey games. Combining the two is the ultimate dream. Road trip, anyone? Moving to Boston in September. Oh, well, okay. I need someone to break my heart so that I can fully appreciate Olivia Rodrigo and Old Taylor. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's you're kind of gal.
Sure, okay. I mean, but also those are two artists that have like, I don't know, probably 50 million Spotify listeners each.
Right, but like you could have a little summer romance, break somebody's heart, listen to, what is it, Driver's License?
Mm-hmm. And then suddenly in September I'm back in my bags.
You're clean break.
I'm shipping out to Boston.
Or that too.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going the opposite direction there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go watch David Pasternak.
Sure, yeah. Oh wait, this one was cut off. Where is, or is this one? Hold on. One was 2 screenshots. I have to make sure. Okay, yeah. This one's a little long, because there's just a lot going on. I might not read all of it, but so this one I just screen capped the favorite books, movies, shows, music, and food.
Okay.
Because my top 5 are Avenged Sevenfold, Post Malone, Slipknot, Disturbed, and Fleetwood Mac. I listed all kinds of music and I'm pretty much open to anything.
Oof.
And I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah. That's some shit. And then this caused me to go on a Wikipedia little search, and I was like, what the hell? Is Avenged Sevenfold still like doing shit?
Yeah, they are.
Well, and it turns out that they haven't released an album since 2016.
Oh, I thought I saw like an article about them recently doing something.
I don't know, but they haven't released a full album since 2016.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw that they've released a single for like every Call of Duty.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
So they're like the Call of Duty band.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. They did wear a lot of camo and were also vaguely Christian. Well, not vaguely. They're like, the name comes from the Bible. So did their fucking first album.
So maybe their next album is just going to be a compilation of all the Call of Duty tracks.
Yeah. But then I was also remembering, I was like, damn, Almost Easy was actually pretty good, though. That was a good song.
You know, it's good for when you're in high school.
Yeah, exactly. And some people never got out of that.
Sure.
And still list Avenged Sevenfold, Slipknot, Disturbed, and Fleetwood Mac all together like that.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense, though, because they've got Post Malone in there, too, right? And that's sort of like a...
Yes.
I consider him to be like a bridge between... Well, I mean, he's a bridge between a number of things, but like radio rock and like hip hop, sort of.
When's the last time he took a shower? Is my question.
Same year that Avenged Sevenfold had their last album. But yeah, the Fleetwood Mac is a bit out of left field.
Yeah, just getting it in there. So then I scrolled down, and then for the prompt, you should message me if you have a beard and tattoos, have a dad bod, are into cars, and like a thicker girl. Please don't talk to me if you drive a Honda, specifically a Civic.
No.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, man. See, I was all in, but now I'm disqualified.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, you got that thick beard and tattoos. And
well, I drive a Honda Civic.
You're rocking that dad bod. But, like, yeah, what the fuck?
I was checking off all the boxes.
It's an economical car. Yeah. I was like, yeah, okay. Which one's this? Oh, that's the plus size Jersey girl. That's the other. That's that one. That's the brothers.
By the way, that reminded me, I've seen a TikTok trend recently where, and it's been, I've just seen it from like girls and women are listing like their top 5 like red flag or green flag like movies or albums.
There are green flags.
There are green flags too. I've enjoyed that trend, like seeing where I line up in like movie tastes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Aren't the old mainstays like Fight Club or like red flags?
Yeah, like Fight Club, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Basically just fucking Tarantino.
Pretty much.
Okay. This one, now you're gonna have to tell me if we include this one, because I don't think this one is interesting because of the person, but just because of I find the way that they phrase things charming, let's say.
Okay.
And I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to make fun of this person specifically. I just I found some joy in the way that they wrote the profile. So that's my preface for this one. And I'm reading from what they wrote. All right. I am a Filipina lady boy. That's their word. Independent, careless, simple, happy-go-lucky person. I hate drama. I never depend my value on somebody's opinion. I like to be mentally challenged, and I always want a guy who has a good sense of humor. I always like older guys and old-fashioned gentlemen, smiley face. I have been with many failed relationships. Sometimes you meet the right person in the wrong time, and sometimes you meet the wrong person in the right time. It doesn't mean we are ladyboy. We don't value respect. We are not a toy for you to explore your curiosity. We seek respect and honest partner just like real women do. And now I want to interject here and say that you are also a real woman.
Yes, of course. Who would question?
Right. Part-time, non-voice call center agent and part-time real estate agent. I love singing music and I dream of going outside the Philippines to live outside the Philippines for good. I block people who come and go so that I can narrow down my options to one in all caps. I just liked their phrasing of I like to be challenged. I thought that was very charming because clearly English is not their first language. So that was all. But if that was too,
Well, I'm on the fence of whether this was just like a very poorly constructed like catfish account.
I don't think so.
No, it's just like trying to write in a second language.
I think that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, I just think that English is not their first language.
It's a lot more. It gives you a lot more information than the first one we did today.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
So
yes.
That's good. It follows the prompt.
Definitely. Yeah. It says what they're looking for, what their values are.
I would like a little bit more context about what they mean by ladyboy. I
believe that they are a trans woman.
Oh! I didn't know that was like. I mean, does anybody use that? That term.
I think in the West it's derogatory.
Okay.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
But I think like in certain Asian countries they use it. I don't think it's I don't know the status of it in like Asian countries. So they might just be translating for whatever the term would be in their native language. Not knowing what the more accepted term would be in English nowadays.
Yes.
So but that's what they were using and they put it in all caps. But yeah, upfront about what they're looking for. I wish them the best. I just found the way that they phrase some things charming is all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like to be mentally challenged.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't? I like a good brain teaser.
Doing that Sunday crossword.
That wasn't. So we weren't mean, right?
No, I don't think so.
Should I keep that one?
Sure.
Okay. All right, I have one more. Now this one vexed me for a very long time, and I almost lost it. I had to do a deep search. I had to get the right terms in the search in my archives to find it. Now, if we want to talk about being mentally challenged and and stimulated and getting the brain going here, this one's gonna throw you for a loop, okay? Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just a crazy person. Just an overworked grad student who dreams of becoming a cosmetic chemist. My cat has a Latin name, and my now, in parentheses, ex gave me bronchitis. Looking for someone who wants to explore the world together and maybe one day build a family. I'm very serious about school and my work, but during my off time, I just love to relax, cook some good food, and watch nerdy shit. Just out there trying to find my person. Now, the sentence, my cat has a Latin name, and my now ex gave me bronchitis.
Yeah, I'm not gonna date you if you're sick.
Okay, sure. Sure.
Like, do you currently have bronchitis? Is that the situation?
I don't know. I had bronchitis like 3 summers ago. Oh Jesus, I guess it was 4 now.
Is it contagious?
See, that was the one thing I didn't know if it was contagious. Like, everything was confusing about me about this, because like I thought bronchitis was just like an infection that you can get like from being sick. Because like it's like an infection in the lungs or whatever. So like if you had a cold or the flu, and then you got an infection in the lungs, then like that's bronchitis.
Okay.
So I didn't think bronchitis was contagious. So that was one thing.
Because if it is, then that's like very respectful to just be upfront about that. You know, if you're sick, you don't want to.
Yeah, but it's also not like it's like an STD.
Right.
So like, you know, there's that.
And did we learn the cat's name, or we just know that it's Latin?
No. My cat has a Latin name. And now, so I was like, okay, did your ex give you the cat? Did your ex give you the cat the Latin name? Does the ex have anything to do with the cat?
I think you should.
Are these just two?
You should reach
entirely separate events.
You should reach out.
I think I might have. I don't think I have the message anymore.
Okay.
I was gonna be like, hey, that sentence is like melting my brain, like, because then I was also thinking, I was like, Latin name. What does this person mean by Latin name? Like, is it Domino X, you know, or like something like that, or is it like Latin, like Latino, like
right?
Is the cat's name like Ricardo or something?
I think there's a fundamental.
It's like, hey,
yeah, there's a fundamental problem with this bio here, which is that it leaves us more interested in their cat than themselves.
Oh, completely. Yeah, it's like, hey, I got, and then then I was like obsessed with the idea of like, oh, I'm a Latin cat, like, ooh, I'm jazzy, like, it's like, my cat has a Latin name, hey, like, it's like, I don't know, there's something mysterious,
and it's like, it's so prominent in this like, it's near the beginning, like, it's one of the first
it's the
things.
Second sentence.
Yeah, it's the second
sentence. My cat has a Latin name, and my now ex gave me bronchitis. There's not even a comma. My cat has a Latin name. I have a Latin cat. And like, yeah, is it dead language cat? Or is it like, you know, Latino cat?
Right. Because I think dead language cat would be really interesting.
I don't know. I kind of want, like, you know, like sort of worldly, you know, sort of like jazzy dancing cat, you know, like sort of like a globe-trotting.
Where are you getting jazzy from?
I don't know. Something like,
you've constructed a whole idea of
like this, like
what this could
like
be.
Some marimbas going, you know, like.
What if, does it scat as well? I mean, if it's jazzy, do we have a
no? It's not.
cat?
No, because that's DJ Scat Cat. That's a different thing.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, that's a totally different thing.
I'll take your word for that.
I don't know. Just something about Latin cat. I got this Latin cat. It's like, you know, it's like somebody's like, oh, this Latin cat just walked into the bar. You know, it's like, you know what I mean?
No, in fact, I know less of what you mean the longer you go on about this. So
maybe it's just me. But I'm fascinated. It's almost like some kind of 1930s shit. You know?
No.
Check out that Latin cat over there. You know? It's like slang.
But it's a real
like jazz.
cat, though.
I know, but like just the phrasing of it. They call me Latin cat. Like, you know what I mean? No?
I mean, I almost want to say yes just because I feel bad right now. I don't know.
My cat has a Latin name and my now ex gave me bronchitis.
I mean, are we, not to go there, but is this like a cat or is it like, you know, like, is it her cat?
Oh, Christ. See, I never even considered. That would be bizarre.
Yeah, because like, how?
What are you supposed to do with that information?
Right. Because then you would assume that this person is just Latin as well, right? Like the entire person, not just the cat.
I guess.
I don't know.
But then what? It's like dulce et decorum est? Like what is... like what is... What is anybody supposed to do with this? Except go insane like I have.
Start going to jazz clubs.
Or going to jazz clubs and say, hey, check out that Latin cat.
All right, so are we moving on? Are we moving on now?
I think so. I guess so. Because we're never going to solve this mystery. I think I did reach out. And I probably sounded as insane as I do now. So it remains unsolved. So that's Dating is Dead for this week.
Oh, man.
I might be tapped out for now. But I guess I will go back into the bowels of OkCupid and see what I can find. But some things like the Avenged Sevenfold was new. That's a new one. And our trans friend is new. So there's some stuff out there still. Let's see. I feel like I need like a bumper or something to like, I don't know. But like I already used fucking royalty-free music for just the theme of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You should write a song.
Oh yeah, I could just do that real quick.
Also, the episode title has to be "Look at That Latin Cat," right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Check out that Latin cat. All right, so let's run through some stuff real quick. This will be quick. I just wanted to give a little update about the Crunchyroll Funimation thing because we talked about it last week. So we were like, oh yeah, why isn't anything happening with that yet? Like, didn't Crunchyroll get acquired by Sony? And well, yeah, they did, but it was held up by the Department of Justice for antitrust regulatory shit. So now it actually went through, and it felt like Groundhog's Day because they like re-announced that it happened again. So it went through the Department of Justice. They found that it's not a monopoly, apparently. So now things can proceed, I guess. And in the press release, they did sneak in a tiny mention of there being a unified service. So we will see what happens. But I just wanted to update on that.
I actually resubscribed to Crunchyroll this week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
I am watching Golden Kamuy.
Is that like a samurai thingy?
No, it's very interesting. I came across it in a Polygon article of like their best of 2020 anime. And the writer compared it to like a Coen Brothers film.
Okay.
So I'm like, ooh, all right, interesting. And it's like takes place in like early 1900s Japan, and it's like part survival show, part like race to find this stockpile of golds, and all these different people are like trying to go after it at the same time. And There's a lot going on, but it's very interesting. It's I've never seen anything quite like it.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been in the mood for anime because you talk about it, and I always like I go through phases with it where I'm into it, then I'm out of it. But I'm gonna try to watch more of it because I fall out too often.
Yeah,
but there's just so much. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, there really is. It is tough because there is a lot.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to them coming together, to be one service, especially after all the Funimation stuff that we talked about last week.
Yeah, hopefully they take the Crunchyroll infrastructure and update some Funimation nonsense.
I mean, so I know they ruled that it's not a monopoly, but like, are there any other anime streaming services in the U.S. besides these two?
High Dive, which was packaged in with Verve, but it wasn't like part of owned by Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
They have some similar stuff that like they have some of the same shows that Funimation and Crunchyroll have. They have some dubs. They have a lot of older stuff. And they also have like a lot of stuff that is like I guess bordering on hentai.
Okay.
Like more mature stuff, but not in the way of like for adult television, but as in for adult as in like this is just weirdly sexual.
Okay.
So.
And then I guess you could kind of consider like Hulu and like Netflix. They have pretty decent anime libraries.
Yeah, I guess that's the case, but I think all of Hulu's comes from Funimation.
That is true, yeah.
Netflix gets their own for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like they license, third, from studios, and then they do their quote unquote originals, which means they just hire a studio to do it. Well, and then I guess they did have a couple of actual originals, like the one that was the Jaden Smith one or whatever. And then Amazon sort of left the space, but then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, we just bought Evangelion, the movies."
Yeah, I saw an ad for that.
So
that's coming
like
out.
The only place
coming out this week, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be out by the time this goes up, because this is the last movie that's been delayed and delayed and delayed forever, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be on Amazon, along with the other three. So
now, are those like all like sequels to the TV series?
They are retellings of the original series.
Interesting.
But they are not it's not the same. They call them rebuilds. I haven't seen them. I've been waiting for all of them to come out. So I've been able to keep myself free of spoilers somehow. So
yeah, so that's
cool.
cool.
I'm very curious to watch that.
It did seem to come out of nowhere with Amazon. Like that was like
it really did, because it was always like the only way that you could see it in the US was to wait for the Blu-ray releases. So yeah, it really did come out of nowhere, especially with Amazon, because they sort of left the anime space after they tried a block of like the same thing Netflix did, where they grabbed a bunch of quote unquote originals, which means they just licensed some exclusive shows from Japan.
Yeah.
And they kind of, I think the case was that they had you had to pay for like $5 or whatever to access that within Prime. Sort of like one of their channels or whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
This was back in like 2013. And I think nobody did that. So then they just threw that shit on Prime. It was called like Anime Comet or something. I can't remember the name. So then they just had the shows on Prime, and then I think eventually they were non-exclusive anymore. Like some of them actually are on Crunchyroll now.
Yeah.
Because their subtitles were like their formatting was really bad because they only used
closed captioning.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They still do for most things that I've seen.
Yeah, so they were just the format was really bad.
Yeah.
This is something I didn't mention with Funimation. That's also what they do for their subs, which is awful for an anime service.
Yeah, I don't get that. Cuz
like I get better that's another thing that like I get better for pirating is I get better subtitles.
Yeah.
Pirating.
Yeah.
And they're not burned in either. Like I have separate subtitles on Plex. Like come on.
I know, because like you were a U.S. based service. You figure a majority of the people are using the subs, so it's wild that they don't just have regular subtitles.
Yeah, in Amazon's case, these were non-dubbed shows. These shows did not have dubs.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no way. Like this was U.S. Amazon Prime. Like yeah, it was a joke. Like I think the only options in Amazon are like you can change the color from white to yellow, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that's about it. Yeah, it's a joke.
Speaking of anime films, I think I saw there was a new trailer out for the Shirobako movie that's coming out in. I hope I pronounced that right. Coming out in October.
Is there? Is this the first movie or the second movie?
I don't know. I assume it's the first one. I haven't. If it's not, I haven't seen the previous.
I thought it came out already. Maybe just in Japan.
Yeah, that could be it.
But yeah, that's definitely exciting. I love that show so much.
Yeah, it's so good. It worked really well for me as like one of the first anime I'd ever seen.
I think it's a great gateway show.
Because it gets you so into it because it's about, a team making an anime and you get all the details of the various like roles and how that works.
Yeah, did I told you that I watched that show, Ezuken?
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that.
Yeah, which was about the high school girls making their own anime.
Yeah.
It came out a couple years ago, I think. A different show, definitely, because they sort of like imagine like what their show is going to be, and so then the show animates that, like what they're like daydreaming about. Really, really charming, like cute shit. And definitely different from a lot of shows, and it's not like where Shirobako is like this like grounded workplace sort of thing. Ezuken is like this fantastical sort of look into these characters and like them trying to make anime.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I did want to give a quick shout out to Pittsburgh sports legend Mike Lang. He's been the Penguins play-by-play voice on the radio and TV before that for like 50 years basically. He retired this week. He is no longer going to be doing play-by-play. During COVID, he took a step back and only did a few games here and there. And so now he's retiring from play-by-play. I think he said that he will still maybe do some radio coverage of, I don't know what that entails, maybe like some pregame or special events, maybe things like that. But he's the man. Like, yeah, from his catchphrases, slap me silly Sydney, geez, scratch my back with a hacksaw, like he's got a million of them. There's so many. Arnold Slick from Turtle Creek, like all that shit. just an incredible voice and talent. Not only for like the catchphrases and things like that, but the way that he saw the game was just second to none. He would see like momentum and shifts develop, and then he would just predict things. He would just know before things were going to happen that they would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible sense for the game. Really enhanced viewing the games. For the playoffs, it was a must to turn on the radio broadcast for him. So yeah, he'll be missed. I hope he has a very, very happy and long retirement.
Definitely. When you first posted the show notes this week, I was just skimming through it. I'm like, oh no, for a second, I'm like, oh no, he died. But
yeah,
just because of the way I read it. But no, that's
right.
An incredible career. Like, just to be the voice of an organization for what, almost 50 years.
I believe he did. He did hockey for 50 years. He was the voice of the Penguins for 46.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, I just missed him because I was telling you this. I got into during the playoffs this season. The NBC broadcasts were so rough to listen to that I started syncing up the TV broadcast with radio. And now I think that's just going to be my default thing, because for me, it just like listening to hockey radio while watching the game just like helps me follow everything that's going on so much better. Because it's such a fast game, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have liked to have heard some of his calls, but there's plenty of clips out there and stuff.
Oh yeah, I went through a whole on the day here talk, because I thought I was like, maybe I'll play some for the show, but there's too many. There's too many.
Yeah.
Just go look at his Stanley Cup calls. Just incredible stuff. They always bring a smile to your face. But yeah, and it's like, even though I never had any ambitions to do like sports radio or anything like that, it's like I wouldn't be doing this without, you know, like Mike Lang or like people, you know, like him, like broadcasters like him. I wouldn't have done college radio. I wouldn't be doing podcasts or like gotten into any kind of audio shit. Just because like his voice was so pervasive, and like growing up with Penguins hockey, it's just that, like, just playing hockey and just messing around as a kid, you know, pretending you're playing in the NHL. His voice is what you would hear.
Yeah.
It's just how it worked. He was the narrator for hockey. So yeah, wish him all the best. Hopefully it's a very long retirement and he sticks around for a while yet.
And he's able to enjoy some more Stanley Cups.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I did want to talk about this story because I've had it in here for a while.
Yes.
So, do you know the audio program Audacity?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay. So, before some of this happened, and if you were on Windows, I probably would have recommended you use Audacity as like a free audio tool for recording. And you know, it's a digital audio workstation, so you can do lots of things with it. But a lot of people do use it for podcast recording. You know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Around May, because it was a it still is. It's a free open source, you know, program. I think it's Windows, Mac, whatever. They were purchased by a Russian company. And then an update added telemetry, which means that all of a sudden it's like calling to home servers and sending data that's being gathered by the app.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that is, it's for harmless reasons, but the fact that this was a completely offline app that never needed it before, and it was suddenly, it needed to ping servers for no actual functionality, caused a lot of people to be concerned about it. And then, of course, like, like phobia of Russian involvement in anything. People are like, oh no, this is suddenly spyware. So since it was open source, people are like, well, we can just take the code and make another version, and that's often called forking. So people wanted to fork the program and just make Audacity again, but without, any of this potential spyware bullshit.
Yeah.
So one of those versions was called Tenacity, and the developer was named. The programmer was called Cookie Engineer. That was their handle.
Mm-hmm.
They made a poll to rename their fork of the program. And so the winner of the poll was Sneedacity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Did all the candidates, were all the potential names something acity?
I believe probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess just so you can identify what this was a fork of.
Sure, yeah.
So even though Sneedacity won, Cookie Engineer decided not to go with that name. Because so here's what I have an image of what the poll was. Okay, Audacium, Odyssey, Audecency, Audio Bakery, Sneedacity, Sound Oven, Temerity, and Tenacity were the poll options.
Oh, see, when you're talking about the story, and not to interrupt in the middle of it for a really stupid reason, but fine. I just think of there was this Big Brother Canada moment this year where somebody was in the diary room, and they were very worked up, and they were like, "You have the audacity to say that," and so Audacity became like a running thing. Anyway, yeah, no context there, but
no, it's fine. So they didn't go with the name that won, the Sneedacity. So apparently, Sneed or anything to do with that, the term Sneed, is a 4chan meme, because of course it is.
No.
This Sneed thing, all it is a reference to a Simpsons joke. There's something called Sneed's Feed and Seed from The Simpsons.
Of course.
And for whatever reason, 4chan loves that joke. Okay, so they say Sneed a lot.
Fucking weird.
Of course, and anytime 4chan's involved, it's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
So Cookie Engineer posts on the GitHub page, which is, if you don't know what GitHub is, it's like a repository for usually open source or independently developed code and programs and things like that. So they made a post on the GitHub page for their fork of the program. This is probably very confusing. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. That they were being harassed and doxxed by 4chan because they wouldn't name the thing Sneed.
Okay.
And they claimed that Sneed is racist in some way. They didn't explain who it's racist against, or who it's offensive to.
Wait, who's claiming that it's racist?
The Cookie Engineer.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah.
That was their reason for not using it, even though they included it in the poll options of their own poll that they made.
Well, did they learn this? Did they learn this whole 4chan thing after the fact? Probably.
Maybe, but it's also just a Simpsons joke.
Mm-hmm. But it's been reappropriated.
I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't want to have the name of my thing associated with 4chan in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, sure. So then some people that were associated with 4chan decided to make their own fork and call it Sneedacity.
Okay, of course.
So now there are two forks. So now there is Tenacity and Sneedacity. So in the post where Cookie Engineer says that they're going to no longer maintain Tenacity because of this harassment from 4chan, they also say that they were stabbed by somebody because they were doxxed. They got stabbed.
So dox is when people find out like where you actually live and stuff?
It's when your personal information is leaked to the internet.
Okay.
Whether that is your real name, address, phone number. Yeah.
So were they like stabbed at their own home?
They did not say. They did not say where they were stabbed. They did not say specifically who stabbed them. They just said that they were stabbed as a result of the 4chan harassment with a quote illegal butterfly knife.
Okay.
Like their whole thing is very, okay. Hold on. I could read okay. On July 6th, 2021, Cookie Engineer put a post on the GitHub announcing he would step down. He cited 4chan users' harassment as a reason, claiming their acts went beyond trolling and that his address and identity were doxed. He linked several specific 4chan threads. The threads are no longer there, as is 4chan usual, because I tried to look them up, and I could not find. They were forward. So this is the post. I really thought long and hard about this. I haven't slept in 2 days due to ongoing harassments of 4chan. As the first people were literally arriving at my place of living where they knocked on my doors and windows to scare us, I am hereby officially stepping down as a maintainer of this project. 4chan thinks I cannot code C, so they win. 4chan thinks I am unfit to lead the project, so they win. 4chan successfully bullied me out in order to have their fucked up Sneedacity fork. Fork that was finally created with blood, quite literally. I give up, I don't care. The safety of my family is worth more than an open source project. They found out my address via a YouTube video where someone was posting my nickname combined with my real legal name, which meanwhile got taken down due to my asking. The incident happened shortly 23 hours CST today, and the police took over this case. I will discuss this further in our private, as of now, communication channels with other people that helped out here so far, and we'll let you know of a successor. Please, if you have the time, report this GitHub, and then it's the GitHub for Sneed's Feed and Seed /Sneedacity project, to GitHub as a hate speech, violence, and harassment insinuating project. Report every single member contributing in this fork because they were part of the project of harassment against me and my family. So a lot of people immediately think that Cookie Engineer is lying about the stabbing.
Okay.
And they also doubted that they were even doxxed in the first place.
I guess there's no way to prove it if the things have already been taken down.
So there was a post the next day by somebody that doubted the claims that says, before anyone accuses me of anything, I'm just an Audacity user trying to get to the bottom of this. This guy wasn't targeted as far as I can see. He added Sneedacity to the poll himself. This wasn't a Bodie McBoatface situation. And if you don't know what that is in reference to, it's the famous poll where, for naming of a boat, what is it, in the UK, I believe? Like, I don't know, 10 years ago at least. And there's an ongoing thing where if there's a poll online and you leave an option blank, they're going to come up with the worst thing possible.
Yeah.
And so there was a campaign to get Bodie McBoatface to win the poll. And so that's what people would enter in. And so they're saying this wasn't the case, where there was no blank space. Like, there wasn't a write-in campaign to get Sneed to win. He literally put Sneed on the poll, is what they're saying with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's not really a serious name, but it's not like he isn't the one who added it to the poll and made the poll public. I don't want to make accusations, but it just seems fishy how much time he spent talking about this alleged harassment, but became silent right after people wanted to see proof. Having some proof would support his case, too. His latest claim is that someone stabbed him in the arm, again with no images or police report. To be crystal clear, I don't condone violence of any kind, but this guy seems to be making increasingly serious threats or serious claims with no proof, so I have a hard time believing someone who got stabbed in the arm hours ago would write a long GitHub post instead of just posting a picture of the wound or a police report with a brief explanation. I mean, it's easier than writing with a stab wound in your arm and would get rid of the doubts had by people like me. Again, I'm really sorry if this actually happened to him. This wouldn't be the first time I've seen someone lie on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good point,
then the
though.
next day, it is. And then the next day, July 6th, Cookie Engineer changed his bio a number of times to various quotes taken from online discussions of the controversy, typically from 4chan. So there is a collection of the... Let's see.
Well, so then wouldn't Cookie Engineer just be like, isn't this like him or them antagonizing more than, like, you know, at first they wanted to let it go and now they're like doing this, so...
Yeah, it's literally the bio, like, that are quotes from 4chan about him. This one's just the N-word a bunch of times, which is lovely.
Yikes.
I hate that that's almost a running theme on the show, is finding people that say the N-word.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there are too many of them.
Cookie Engineer denied a number of the bio changes on Twitter, particularly ones including racist phrasing. People couldn't find our police report about the stabbing. There was nothing about the actual...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if this happened to me, I would probably want to accompany the write-up that I did with a photo or some sort of evidence.
Yeah, I'm not like... It wouldn't be victim blaming to be just like...
No, I don't think so.
Whenever you're trying to be like...
Victim blaming would be like...
Hey, these dudes are dangerous.
Yeah.
I got stabbed. And it's like... Oh, shit. Like, what happened? And then you just say, like, oh, I got stabbed in the arm at 11 o'clock. Like... Okay.
Yeah, it's like why would you feel the
weird.
need to give the time of day, but like you don't give any other more significant details.
Yeah.
But no, victim blaming would be like you shouldn't have saying that you brought this on yourself or something like that, which isn't the case.
Right. And it's just bizarre to me. It's like, and I'm not saying that they needed to give in to 4chan pressure to name their fucking project whatever dumb meme 4chan wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like you made the poll. If you didn't want it to be an option, you didn't need to put it as an option.
The only way I would understand this move of like changing it after the fact would be if he made the poll, used the Simpsons reference, only knew it as a Simpsons reference, and then later on learned that it was associated, with 4chan and they like to use it a lot, and he just didn't want to have people think that it had anything to do with that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But we don't know. Like, we don't know which came first there.
Right. I don't have that information. Yeah.
But if this did happen, that is downright terrifying. To have people
it absolutely
looking
is.
through your window and knocking on your door and oof.
No, and that's the other thing. It's like I don't put it past 4chan to absolutely dox somebody. Like, this is what 4chan and fucking Kiwi Farms do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what they do. But this one's just fishy. It's weird. And then the fact that this person just went on to further provoke 4chan.
Yeah, because you say that you're giving it up because you want to protect your family and your own safety, but then you continue to sort of provoke them. So yeah, that doesn't really add up.
Yeah, and it's not like. Again, I'm not saying it's like, oh, now you deserve the harassment because you're provoking them. I'm not saying that either.
Oh, not at all.
It's like,
yeah,
but it's like, it's like, quit while you're behind here. Like,
yeah, and then because you stated that you were quitting, and you stated the reasons why you were quitting, and those are understandable.
Yeah, so like, be done with it. Let's,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not gonna like, the only public thing you should do is like. If you want to prove the stabbing thing, that seems like the best idea. Otherwise, trying to like fight back against 4chan is just like you're gonna lose.
And you're giving them what they want.
That too, of course. Yeah, there's no winning. So yeah, just drop it. And it seems like they didn't. So. But yeah, I thought this was a fascinating story.
Yeah, very bizarre. So does I guess Tenacity was the final name of it, but does it still exist in any sort of?
It exists. Whatever they had finished working on, it literally says on the GitHub that it's closed. I don't know what you could download. There's code. There's like a code repository. Yeah, I don't know what you could actually download and use from it. And I don't know what the status of the Sneed version is.
This is the 4chan has taken over the Sneed version. They're making their own. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the status of that. They might have just made the GitHub page as a meme to provoke. I don't even know. But the article did say that Audacity removed the telemetry requirement after like the outcry of actual users. But they still are owned by whoever bought them. But people were just more worried about the fact that it was requesting online access whenever it never needed that before.
Yeah, I mean, I
guess now it doesn't. So
this is sort of at least it reminded me of it. But I was using for a long time private internet access, the VPN.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I stopped last year because I had seen a story about the new ownership and how they were involved in like some sketchy stuff before they took over. Like literally, like truly some stuff that is the stuff you do not want from a VPN provider. Like they were, I forget exactly what it was, and I probably should, before I bring it up, I should probably have like sourced it, but they were involved in like malware essentially.
Oh, lovely.
So just the exact thing that you want to avoid.
Yeah.
That's not to say that private internet access isn't still like reputable. I mean, it still exists, and from what I see, people still use it. So, but for me, that was enough to be like, no, I'll just look elsewhere. There's plenty of them out there, and I hardly even use it anymore anyway. VPNs, but
I wonder if that's why I stopped seeing like influencer ads for it.
It's possible. But they're also the same company owns another one that's fairly popular too. I'm forgetting the name of that one, but they own a couple.
Express VPN?
No, it's not Express.
That's like the big one. The big ones are like Express VPN and Nord VPN, which is what I use.
Yes, I currently I switched to Nord.
Yeah.
I got Nord back when I had to watch Big Brother Canada earlier this year.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no problems with it. I even sometimes I forget to turn it off, and like I'll leave it when I'm gaming, and it's actually fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I had left mine on as well when I first made my TikTok account. And so for a while, the algorithm was feeding me stuff from Canada because I'd come from watching an episode of Big Brother Canada, and then I made the TikTok, and I was getting like a lot of Canadian TikTok stuff, which was cool because I don't know, I enjoyed it, but
it
was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so last weekend I checked out the Ariana Grande Rift Tour concert in Fortnite. I was looking forward to it because I hadn't experienced one of these. I've been playing Fortnite since last summer, and the last one of these that they did was Travis Scott, which was a few months before that.
Yeah.
So I was curious. I didn't know much about it. I didn't like look up the video of like the previous ones, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it was pretty cool. It was short. It was 12 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
But you know, it was a cool 12 minutes. Like they recommended that you show up an hour ahead of time. Like you log into the yeah, you log into the game. Okay. Sure.
Wait, you're telling me doors open an hour before?
Yes.
For a 12-minute show?
Essentially, yeah.
I think they're gonna give Joyce Manor some ideas.
Yes. No, but no, they suggest that you log into the game an hour ahead of time, and so I was just like playing Fortnite for a half hour because the actual servers start 30 minutes ahead of time, which is still a pretty decent wait. So yeah, when they do open up 30 minutes early, I jumped into one, and you're basically just like hanging out with other people. You could do some emotes, some dances.
Sure.
You know, that's really it. But it was kind of cool though, like for me, because like it did feel like a communal experience. Like everybody's just there and you're just like waiting to do this one thing, and it did feel kind of like you were just like waiting in line for something.
Yeah.
Because like there's like this emote where like you could just like pull a chair out.
Sure.
Just kind of like lounge around. So a bunch of people were doing that. I don't know. It was all right. Like I was listening to a podcast while I was waiting, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But then you jump into it, and it's like, I guess the closest comparison I would make is like a Super Bowl halftime show, just like virtual and like a lot more spectacle.
So I still don't understand like what it actually is. It like there's a screen within Fortnite where it's Ariana Grande, or is it like?
That's what I thought.
I said that's the whitest person in the world, Ariana Grande. But or is she like a Fortnite skin where it's almost like a VTube situation? Yeah,
it's exactly that. They sell a Fortnite skin along with this event.
Okay.
It's there's a lot of gameplay. It's very interactive. It's basically just like mini games. Set to different songs, and the first few, there was like a Juice WRLD song, there was this like rock song that I didn't recognize.
Avenged
Sevenfold. Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold. No, they have their Call of Duty contract. They can't do it for Fortnite. But yeah, like you go through, like there's one section where you're with a bunch of people and you're trying to take down this big like Galactus type like Sentinel thing. So it's like a shooter, like an arcade shooter. When Ariana Grande comes on, it's her like avatar, like it's her in-game like skin character, and I'm pretty sure it's just like the studio tracks playing.
Oh, most definitely.
But it's cool though, because like there's a lot of thought put into like the art style of it. Mm-hmm. And like each like little world that because it's called the Rift Tour because you're like going through like a multiverse.
Sure.
And so it's you didn't even get
the kids love a good multiverse. Oh
yeah, for sure. They love to follow all that stuff. But Yeah, so it's like it's a medley basically, like what you would get at a Super Bowl halftime show. You don't get the full songs either. You just get like maybe a minute of each one. And so like you're going through like these different worlds and stuff. Like there's one where you're just like on a giant like teddy bear and you're bouncing around, and there's this other one where you're like it's like inspired by like I think like Greek mythology, and there's like this giant Ariana Grande singing in the middle of like these like statues and stuff. Like visually it was really cool. It was interesting. I just wasn't expecting it to be as short as it was. Which given the like the level of detail involved with it makes sense. But it's like there was like so much like build up and anticipation, and for it to be over as quickly as it was pretty surprising to me because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But you know, for what it was all right. A little weird though, because like at the end you're just kind of like they like shoot you out back into like the Fortnite world, but it's like there's like anti-gravity and all you can do is like float around in through these like rings. And you just kind of do that until you're sick of doing it, and so you have to just like manually leave. And I didn't know whether there was more coming or not, because it was like I said only 12 minutes in, and I'm like, okay, this seems like a pretty lengthy interlude here. Oh wait, no, it's over and pretty much everybody's left. So then I got the clue that I should probably just back out.
Yeah.
But you know, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so they had like 5 different showtimes throughout the weekend. You know, like for different regions and stuff.
Well, then it was definitely pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing every time. It does say that depending on like what skin or outfit you're wearing, like there are some differences you could see like aesthetically while going through the tour. But I didn't bother to do it a second time.
Yeah.
Just because of the wait and everything.
Yeah, if you're waiting maybe an hour.
Yeah, because they do shut down when the servers go up for this event. They shut everything else down. Like you can't play Fortnite at all during that time. Yeah,
that would act. So if I was like actually a Fortnite player, that would annoy me.
Yeah, especially because there were 5 different times throughout the weekend that it's happening.
Yeah,
it's pretty frustrating. But luckily, the event doesn't take that long. So
I guess,
you know, it's the stuff is down for maybe 45 minutes to an hour in total.
Is that their way of doing like stealth maintenance?
I don't think so, because they do weekly patches. They do weekly patches like at like 1 a.m. our time.
I see.
So I don't think so. I think it's just a way to make sure that their servers don't get like overloaded or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, that was all right. Speaking of Fortnite, I also last night I experienced a game in 120 frames per second for the first time.
Oh, so you got the monitor?
I got a new monitor.
Nice.
And I was playing some 120 FPS Fortnite, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because there's a limited number of games that actually support that on the new Xboxes.
Right.
It's mostly multiplayer games, so that was really the only thing I could play to try it. Like I was gonna try and jump into the Destiny Crucible, but it turns out I hadn't unlocked it yet.
Oh.
So that's a whole thing which I won't get into, but I'm really like underwhelmed with what Destiny is currently doing for new players, specifically for new players. But
that's weird, because I could have sworn I had it whenever I was fucking around with the whole Stadia thing.
Well, was that an account that you had transferred over, or? Yeah,
but it's not like I had to level or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tried clicking on the Crucible thing on the map, and it just I couldn't get anywhere. Like it didn't do anything. So
that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Or is that, or is it like down or something? Like, you know, like
could have been.
Where they
it could have just been down.
What was that mode that they would bring back like once a year? Did they just do that for PvP now?
It's possible. I saw an article recently that Destiny fans, like Crucible, specifically the Crucible fans, are not happy with the game because there hasn't been like any new content for PvP in like quite a long time.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. But yeah, 120 is really nice.
Yeah.
Really smooth.
Mm-hmm. It's so tough to go back.
It is. It definitely is.
I still think 60 is fine, but like going lower now is really rough.
Yeah, I mean, 120 has its uses, like racing games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a main thing. Multiplayer, stuff like that, really fast paced. But yeah, the only other thing I wanted to mention was the state of NHL 22.
Yeah.
What we know about it so far.
Mm-hmm.
That has me concerned. As a fan of this very niche AAA game.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Well, last week I talked about all the different ports of Persona, so
yeah.
I don't know what has less appeal.
Well, part of my concern is the fact that it's very niche, because it could cause some issues for the next iteration of it.
Yeah.
So, like, they announced a technical test, not even a beta, but just like a technical test for late August.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to bother signing up for it. I'll just wait until the game's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that announcement, they confirmed that there will be 4 different versions of the game. One for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Series X and S.
Uh-huh. Oh, wait, so there's a version for Series S and then for Series X?
Sorry, I meant there's one version across of X and S.
Okay.
So there's 2 Xbox versions, one for Xbox One, previous gen,
Sure.
and then one for the current gen.
Okay.
Which I'm concerned about because as it stands with
4.
only... What's that?
That's 4 versions.
Yeah, 4 versions.
I thought you said 5.
Oh, no, just 4.
Oh, okay.
So I'm concerned about that because NHL 21 is only on last gen.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 versions of it, PS4 and Xbox. Of course, you can play those versions on the current gen consoles because of backwards compatibility. And the player bases are, it's kind of rough. Like just today, this morning, I couldn't get into an online game.
At all?
And I think I didn't try for that long. I tried for a few minutes, which I think the reason for that is because Madden came out today.
Oh, well, there you go.
But like a longer term issue for me is like I was telling you how in Ultimate Team there's like divisions, like ranked divisions. There's 10 of them, and I'm in Division 2.
Yeah.
So like Division 1 is the top one. Division 10 is where you start out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Division 2, and because the player base is so small, I'm consistently being matched up with Division 1 players that are like significantly better than me.
Sure.
And like I just don't know how this game is gonna do well when you split up this player base even further in this next game.
So I assume that the last gen versions are just updated versions of the current game, right?
I would have to think so. Yeah. And then the next gen versions you'll see the changes and what they've been working on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there won't be any cross-play between, say, like PS4 and PS5. There'll be 2 separate games, 2 separate player bases.
Is there
Same thing with the
cross-play
Xboxes.
between...
No. Which was confirmed. That hasn't been confirmed specifically by NHL, but people can infer that because FIFA doesn't have it and Madden doesn't have it. And if neither of those games have it, then NHL for sure doesn't have it.
Huh.
So you'll have 4 different player bases for this game that already struggles with 2. And that's concerning to me as someone who plays this game online against other people, like 95% of the time.
Well, maybe they will see. So like I was kind of in the mood for a multiplayer game last weekend.
Okay.
And I tried out Knockout City. Did you hear about that
okay.
one?
Yeah, I tried it myself too, a little bit.
And that's an EA game.
Yeah.
And that is crossplay with everything.
Interesting.
And that's a small game. And then I looked, and it's like hemorrhaging players, and it's crossplay. But it was crossplay at launch.
Okay.
So
well, everybody's just looking at the other two big EA Sports games, and they're assuming that NHL has never had any features that that those games don't have.
Right.
But also, those games don't necessarily need it because
they're huge.
They're huge.
Yeah.
FIFA and Madden are huge, so they don't have that same problem.
This is just purely anecdotal too, but like there's somebody on my friends list. I don't even know who they are. They might be like an old Tumblr friend, which is a sentence and a half. But they've been playing for the past, I don't know, month. They've been playing NHL 20. So
okay.
So I don't know if there was a subset of people that just never moved on to the newer games. I
mean, they could be playing it offline. They could be playing franchise or something.
Yeah, of course. But
because the ultimate team mode in that game is finished. You can't even.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can't really do anything.
But so there's that kind of consumer,
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's also the limited number of people that have the newer consoles that aren't going to even get the game right away or get the game at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, it really is. Also, what makes it even worse is that I've heard that Xbox, where I'll be playing the next game, I'm on PS4 currently for this year's game, but I'm switching over to Xbox. Xbox does not have nearly as large of a European,
right?
A European player base as PlayStation does.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at probably an even smaller player base than would be getting on PS5.
Right. Well, were you already do you know if you were already playing with European players?
I think I'm not, because I have my maximum ping limited to a number that's probably too low.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably not matching up. I'm probably mostly playing Toronto area, East, players. But
right.
So yeah, that is true. I might be overstating the problem. I don't typically have issues finding matches. That was just this morning, and I think it's attributed to Madden, especially because there's the free trial of Madden, the 10-hour early access trial.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So
that probably grabbed a decent number of people. And if you're playing at night, it's no problem. There's always people on.
Yeah.
But it is concerning because splitting up this player base even more, and then that limits what you can do in Ultimate Team itself, because you can't the developers can't implement new modes for it, because then you're just splitting the player base within the game.
Right.
Because as it stands, there's essentially the main weekend competitive mode. There's one other online mode, and then there's an arcadey type, and that's really it, and that's all they can do, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to match up with anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, hopefully they recognize it's an issue and are able to do something about it, but I guess we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a lot of things are culminating, because there are a lot of people that want to buy these new consoles, and it's a fucking shit show to get your hands on them.
Yep.
And the game is not on PC, where there might be an audience if it was crossplay with at least Xbox on PC.
Yeah. They people were saying a PC version of this game will never arrive before crossplay is a thing.
Oh yeah. I can't even remember the last, because the game used to be on PC years ago.
Yeah, it did. I was never able to run it very well. I remember having a couple iterations of it.
Because I played NHL 2002 on PC.
Was that Mario on the cover that year?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know when they stopped. Maybe it was like '09 with the sticks, like the stick edition, like the revamp.
That would make sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to look that up.
And with this technical test, nobody's allowed to like post any footage of it.
Interesting.
Which is, I don't know, like whether to read into that or not. Probably not. Like it's not even a beta. It's just trying to like work their servers.
I'm surprised that they are. It's not like influencer invite only then. If they're putting an embargo on it.
True.
Because then now they just have to go through the process of DMCAing people. That I guess they couldn't post shit.
I guess they couldn't do that for the same issue because they actually need a decent number of people to stress out their servers. So you need to make it as open as possible, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's easier on one side for like direct capture on PlayStation, where you can just literally block the feature, like the screenshot, the capture feature. But if you have a capture device, then you can just, go to town.
You can. I mean, I guess you run the risk of like getting your Twitch or YouTube accounts like banned, right?
Right. Does Xbox have a similar feature where like they can block like cutscenes from getting captured?
I mean, I know PS4 like automatically does it for certain things, and I haven't seen anything like that from what I've used with my Xbox so far, so I'm not sure.
I'd be very interested. Yeah, I was in the mood for some multiplayer shit. But I didn't know what to play.
Fortnite. Like, would you really? I mean, I said I wasn't going to ask you again, but would you really not like be up for even trying it?
Maybe.
Because like on PS5, it's 120. You know, it's nice.
I only have a 60 hertz.
Oh, that's right. True.
Actually. Well, that's not true. I could technically get 120 because it's connected to the fucking capture device that's hooked up to my monitor with the 25-foot long HDMI cable.
Oh, wow.
So technically, if I wanted to be an elite esports pro gamer on Fortnite at 120, I could do that.
I've got some challenges to do this week that require a teammate.
Oh yeah. What, like pick my broken ass up?
No, it's literally just like place, top 25 with a teammate or play games with a teammate. And the only other person, I just have like one person on my friends list currently.
Nice.
So
yeah, I tried Knockout City. I played like 2 games, and the second one was only because it auto queued, and I didn't, because I was trying to look at stats, and it auto queued. It was okay. It's not something I'd like actually sink time into.
Yeah. I played the tutorial.
Yeah, I did that. The tutorial was kind of annoying.
There was a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot to it.
I mean, once you're in a game, there's kind of not really. I could, if you want to talk about player bases, I could already tell that game was in trouble because, like, I was put on a team with, like, we're all in the default skin, and then there are people that clearly have, like, cosmetics and shit. And so
you're just like immediately matching up with them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, this isn't fun. So we got stomped immediately. This is my first game. It's like we don't even know the controls really. Yeah. It's like, all right.
Has that game been free to play since the start? Do you know?
It's not free to play.
Oh, it's not free to play.
So they have a free trial or whatever. Where
See,
you can,
I don't get that.
Yeah, I know. Where you can go up to like level 20 something or some shit.
Like, don't you think they would have learned their lesson after Rocket Arena last year?
I don't even know what that is, so I guess
Oh,
not.
there you go. There you go. No, it was another EA like multiplayer game based around like rocket launchers. And they charged like, I don't even know, it was probably like $20-$30 at launch.
Yeah, it's $20, and I think it was on sale for $12, and I think you might get it free if you got the stupid EA pass.
Yeah, no, it's part of Game Pass through that.
Well, that's yeah.
But it's like Rocket Arena failed at launch because it cost money, and then they eventually like by like a month later it was $5, and then eventually it was on like PS Plus.
Of course.
So it's like, why would they not have learned their lesson after that game? I don't understand.
Know. It's like, yeah, it's buy to play, and then it's got microtransactions up the ass. I'm like earning some bullshit currency. It's like, I don't care. This just looks like it looks like Fortnite. You know, the art style is just aping Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't care about how this looks. Like, I just wanted to see if it was good to play.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I didn't like there was multiple double jumps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I remember that from the tutorial.
That was kind of annoying.
I guess the tutorial makes it seem more complicated than it probably ends up being when you're in like the thick of a match.
Yeah, it was really just the most annoying thing was actually that there's multiple ball types.
Yeah.
So like some of them just like explode and shit.
Sure.
So you don't even need to hit somebody.
Well, then what's the point?
Yeah.
It's dodgeball.
Yeah. And then what really actually okay. I keep saying what's the most annoying thing, and then I keep coming up with more things I don't like about that game. So like if you catch a ball, it doesn't negatively affect the other person.
They're not out?
No, because you get 2 hits. You have to hit somebody twice, and then they're out.
As a dodgeball purist, I really don't like this.
Yeah. And so when you catch the ball, all you're doing is just like protecting yourself. So
goes against the spirit of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I didn't really like it that much, now that I think about it.
So it sounds like you need another multiplayer game then.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. So then I was like, I've never played fighting games. I don't get them. I don't like them. But have you seen this Guilty Gear game?
I know of it. Yeah.
It looks cool as shit.
Is this like a new one?
Yeah. It's like anime, but the art's like really good.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
No, because it's like $40.
Yeah.
And it's a fighting game. And like I've never played them. And this is the problem, is like they always say that fighting games like this one's easy for newcomers. It's like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you because that's what they say about all of them.
Before.
Yeah, they say that about all of them. Like they said that about the fucking DC one. It's like, nope, this didn't do anything. But it's like, but it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, I feel the same way about fighting games. It's a tough sell for me.
Yeah, I just the way they control, it just doesn't click for me at all.
Yep, all the combos and stuff.
Yeah, just like even even moving back and forth, like because it's so like, stiff and shit. Like at least the ones I've tried.
But yeah, I'll wait until we're off air until I continue trying to get you to play Fortnite. Superman's in the game now.
Who?
Superman.
Yeah?
Yeah, just came out yesterday. In fact, I could gift you the battle pass and you could just do a couple challenges and unlock him pretty much right away.
Oh boy.
It's really cool because you unlock Clark Kent first, and then once you have him, you have to go into a phone booth to unlock the Superman version.
Okay. So
which I had a thought.
Do you Do bullets not hurt? Like what?
Oh no, it's all cosmetic. It's all just aesthetics.
That's dumb. As a Superman purist.
Oh jeez. Well, if you're a purist of any crossovers or collaborations that happen in Fortnite, you are in for. I mean, I was gunning down people as Ariana Grande with an assault rifle, so.
Well, I mean that makes more sense.
Sure. No, but I was thinking the other day while I was doing that, because there's payphones too, and payphones are the way that you like get quests and stuff like throughout the map.
Oh yeah.
And so do most children nowadays, like if you ask them what a payphone is, would they just be like, "Oh, that's the thing in Fortnite"?
I don't know. I don't know.
Right? Because like, who actually would know what a payphone is in real life, if not for?
I don't know. Do you remember in elementary school how there was just a payphone in the corner of one of the hallways?
No, I didn't. I guess I never.
It was bizarre. It was just like next to a classroom.
Do you actually have to like put money into it, or could you just use it?
I think it was like it was like AT&T branded. I think it was like
that's so weird.
Was like a payphone. It had the booth and everything.
That's strange.
Yeah. It was just like this object out of context.
Yeah.
That was just there. I think about that a lot.
Okay.
Because it's like, what is it doing there? Like, what?
Yeah, like I can understand like if there's like an emergency phone or something, right?
But no,
like
but that's not what it was. Because like teachers,
that's not what it was.
Teachers had phones. Because I even remember, because we were there, like on 9/11, and then I remember the teacher getting a call, like because the classrooms had phones. And my teacher getting the 9/11 call, and then being like she saw a fucking ghost after that call.
Yeah, because my teacher also got a call, and she knew somebody, possibly a family member, that worked in the area. So they were like, had no idea what was going on, and they were just like an absolute mess. And also trying to like keep a bunch of second graders calm and like.
Right.
Yeah, just what a situation.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck is that payphone doing? Here's my point.
Yes. Yeah, I don't get it.
So yeah, I think about that all the time. Like, why was that there? Because you would go to the nurse, and then if you were sick, the nurse would call your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in trouble, you would go to the office, and the office would call your parents. Like, who was using that phone?
I mean, how many times do you think a child ordered like Domino's from that phone?
Oh, I don't.
Probably happened.
This was elementary school.
Probably happened quite a bit.
If that was in the high school, then yeah, that would happen all the fucking time.
Sure.
This was elementary school. Like, most of the kids probably couldn't even reach the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think about weird things like that.
But yeah, Superman's in Fortnite, so that's the thing. It's because this whole alien theme, it's...
Yeah.
Like, he's got Rick and Morty, too, stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So does, like, you get powers from the sun? Like, if the sun's out?
Mm-mm. They can't be doing any of that. It's all cosmetic. Like, it has no impact on the game.
Well, what's the point?
It's because it's cosmetics. What's the point of Overwatch skins,
Yeah, but that's different because the characters already have powers.
Yeah, but the skins don't change anything about the powers.
But what's the point of being Superman if you get gunned down by a pistol? Like, seriously.
I mean, fair.
I'm going to be Superman. I got the cape flowing in the wind, and then I'm going to drop somewhere and get, like, fucking gangland executed immediately. Like,
I mean,
by some kid in a hot dog costume. Like, what? Like, come on.
But I mean, he's still Superman, though.
I don't think so. I don't think he is. Not the one I know.
There's also there's like 4 different versions of Batman.
Of course. See, that's more realistic. It's shitty Batman because he's also dying easily, but like he's still just a dude.
You know what the weirdest? That's true. You know what the weirdest thing when it comes to like the skins of like Marvel and DC that they've done in this game is that
like Brainiac?
No, not even. It's like there's like every Marvel character's in this game now by this point.
Yeah.
Like they had an entire like battle pass that was all Marvel.
Of course. But
like there's a Star-Lord skin. But the name of the Star-Lord skin is Star-Lord uniform. Okay?
Okay.
And so it's not actually Star-Lord. It's just like a Fortnite character in Star-Lord.
It's a Party City costume.
Yeah. But like you would never know that because it's, you know, Star-Lord wears a mask and you can't see what the person underneath actually looks like. But when you, according to like the, I don't know if you want to call it lore or just like whatever it is.
No.
I guess you don't want to call it lore, but according to the game, the Star-Lord skin is not Star-Lord himself. It is a Fortnite character in a Star-Lord costume, and that's literally like the only one of those that exists. Like everybody else is just like their character.
Yeah, it's like a weird oversight.
Yeah, I mean, my only guess is that like this came so early on that they hadn't actually done a bunch of Marvel stuff yet.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's probably what happened there. And they haven't come out with another Star-Lord since then because, like, what's the point, really? Because it looks exactly like Star-Lord. So I just thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
If they had Brainiac.
They could. I'm not sure. I kind of checked out during the whole Marvel season.
Isn't Brainiac DC?
Oh, I don't know. Sure. I guess so.
Ay. We should end this fucking show.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's been this past like.
We're coming up on 2 hours. We gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Yeah.
Oh, the problem is that we have like half the notes to do.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much like anything of substance.
Yeah.
Is still left on the board.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's not true. The Audacity thing was very, very involved.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Did it happen or did it not happen?
I don't think he got stabbed.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning in that direction too.
I don't think he got stabbed. I think 4chan was up his ass. I think that was definitely the case.
Oh yeah. And the only reason it's believable is because it's 4chan.
Of course.
Yeah.
I just don't think that anybody got stabbed. I even believe that they found his address. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely believable. I don't think anybody stabbed him with an illegal butterfly knife.
Although I bet even if he did provide like proof and like a photo, 4chan people would probably be like, well, you just like got your friend to stab you.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think he got stabbed.
Yeah, there's no winning for that person in that situation.
No. And you do lose a lot of sympathy whenever you just change your bio to be the N-word 15
That
times.
is true. Good. Yes. Forgot about that, actually.
Like, nobody deserves the harassment, but like you lose the sympathy.
Yeah.
Real quick. All right, that's gonna do it for us because I need to stop talking. Maybe forever. Is how I'm feeling currently. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere at DeadEndRoad. Check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/DeadEndRoadTV. Check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/DeadEndRoad TV, YouTube, DeadEndRoad. You'll get there. The email, yes, the email. I have to see if I didn't read my note here that says remember to hit all the socials and the email in the outro. You dingus! I would not have remembered to do the email. You can send us anything at all. Video at deadendroad.co. And then I did want to give a quick note here that I'm ramping up publishing activities, so be on the lookout. Publishing.deadendroad.co. And if you are in need of editing or publishing services, I am available for hire. And you could check out, you could send me an email there, publishing@deadendroad.co.
I'm only laughing because of how you got to this.
No, I know. I like I said, I need to stop talking forever. I just need to
the editing services are legitimate. That's not what I was. That's not what I was laughing about.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be ramping up some stuff. There are several projects in the works, and I will have more to say soon, hopefully. So, yes, that is what I mean. And meant to say the whole time. I
don't even know about these projects. These must be really kept under wraps.
Yeah. But I do not want to divulge just yet because things are in motion. I'm doing shit. I'm doing things. So yeah.
Stay tuned.
Keep an eye out. Stay tuned. Thank you very much for listening. All right, I'm stopping the recording before I spit up on air.